behind these funnel fries. So, that walkway back here connects right there and goes all the way back there. And it connects to the, I believe, Forbidden Frontier Island, if I was correct. But I'm not 100% sure where it goes, but we believe that this could be incorporated for future use into the new queue line over here, because we're standing out here by the old Dragster shop, and
it is no longer the Top Thrill Dragster shop. It is Speed Zone.
Well, that wasn't changed. We just don't know what happened to it. But yeah, it is completely boarded up all the way around. Can't see in. Just as is the station. Is there anything that you saw that you would like to mention today, other than the brake fins being gone and the track looking a little bit different?
Yeah, it just kind of looks like it's got cables missing. They're changing up the LSM, or the launch. Looks like it's going to be LSM like everybody was speculating. As far as anything else, we don't know if they're going to add to it, or if it's going to stay the way it is, change the queue, and just add an LSM launch.
I stuck my phone under the fence and looked around. I didn't see much. There is a trailer back there now, but there's no company markers on it. I will put that in the video as well.
Right.
We're gonna walk out to the park, and we're gonna walk out to the car, and we're gonna go over some of our predictions we think that are gonna happen with this actually, because obviously LSM and whatnot. But let's talk fun predictions too. Yeah. Leave your comments in the, leave a comment if you think they're gonna do something
like
fun
RMC.
in the ride too. Yeah.
RMC
Are they gonna RMC the Dragster? Looking at Dragster.
Yeah.
Just getting a good view. You guys want to check out the Gemini? Here we go. Alright, we're putting our phone away for the... So, we're walking by Dragster Wall again here. She got herself a drink. We did want to point out that a lot of people think that the Matterhorn is the one that's by the corkscrew, and this is the Super Himalaya. So that is not being removed, nor is it going to the boardwalk. So everybody's speculating that they're going to remove corkscrew and the surrounding rides to add on to Dragster. I don't think that's feasible. Corkscrew could still very well be taken away. That wouldn't surprise me, but here's the shop again as well, just to show you guys again that it is completely closed up. There is no Dragster shop. There is no signage on any of the station. Even on the other side of here, there's no signage. And that is... Is there anything that you saw that you would like to mention today, other than the brake fins being gone and the track looking a little bit different?
Yeah, it just kind of looks like it's got cables missing. They're changing up the LSM, or the launch. Looks like it's going to be LSM like everybody was speculating. As far as anything else, we don't know if they're going to add to it, or if it's going to stay the way it is, change the queue, and just add an LSM launch.
I stuck my phone under the fence and looked around. I didn't see much. There is a trailer back there now, but there's no company markers on it. I will put that in the video as well.
Right.
We're gonna walk out to the park, and we're gonna walk out to the car, and we're gonna go over some of our predictions we think that are gonna happen with this actually, because obviously LSM and whatnot. But let's talk fun predictions too. Yeah. Leave your comments in the, leave a comment if you think they're gonna do something
like
fun
RMC.
in the ride too. Yeah.
RMC
Are they gonna RMC the Dragster?
Hey, so here we are.
We're in the parking lot right now. We're gonna go back into the park here in a second, but we wanted to wrap up our Dragster predictions now, because we've shown you what's going on at the park. They are not too busy today. They're not doing very much work, it doesn't seem like. They have cut the fins off, as we talked about the brake fins on the launch. All the cables are cut, and it is completely boarded up. You can't see in there. The Dragster signage is gone. The Dragster store is closed and boarded up itself. The Dragster signs on the outside, like of the station, are gone as well.
Nope.
So basically that's everything we know right now. And now we're going to kind of talk about our predictions. So I'm going to let her go ahead and go first. So what are your predictions, Mom?
I honestly, like I said before, they're going to move the queue. Definitely getting an LSM launch, you know, especially after seeing that tweet from SNS. Definitely, you know, cred to...
Who knows if SNS is going to be doing the LSMs, though, so let's be careful there. We don't know for sure, but if that's her prediction, it's her prediction.
And I think they're going to expand it a little bit. I think they're going to add at least a little bit more to the ride. I'm hoping they really do. So, I mean, it'd make it worth waiting in line for again, because I stopped riding it because I didn't like to wait for...
She's a little more pessimistic about the ride. I thought it was a fun launch and everything. I lost my stomach more on the launch than I did the top hat type deal.
Definitely.
It just... When it was really unreliable and you'd get in line and it would be a 25-minute wait for fast lane, right? But it wasn't always a 25-minute wait, because it would go down once and then maybe a second time before you got on, or even as you got into your seat, they would, you know, have to reset the ride, and it would turn into like a 50-minute experience when it should have been 20 minutes maximum. So it was always kind of more of a hassle for us to ride. My predictions with the ride are similar. Obviously, I think they're going LSM launch. Manufacturer wise, I've had some friends on Twitter talk about potentially RMC, which I have vehemently argued against. Not that the RMC engineers couldn't find a way to engineer that. I don't believe that that's feasible. Why would Cedar Point spend that much money to get RMC to come in here and redo that? It'd be like buying the ride twice. And if Cedar Point's down to buy the ride twice, they better go with the best company possible to do this, which I'm not saying is RMC, I'm not saying is Intamin. I don't know who's going to do this, but if they're going to double down on the ride and say spend the same initial cost that they spent in 2002 when they were building it, you know, pre-2003, then they might as well go all the way and try to mend that relationship with Intamin. That's my theory here, is you should definitely try to mend that relationship with Intamin so you can get more creative coasters in the park. You filled them up with the B&M cookie cutters. Not that they're bad, but like Cedar Point's B&Ms aren't like other places B&Ms either. You go to Kings Island, you get Diamondback and Orion and Banshee, and then you go to Carowinds, you get Intimidator and Fury, and it's just like, here you got Gatekeeper and Valraven, and then you got Raptor and Rougarou, and it's like, none of those are the top of their class, so kind of just, you don't have a hyper model in there, you don't have a Giga from them, and I'm actually okay with that, even though I'm not a big fan of Millennium Force. I know we're rambling a little bit here, but again, with the manufacturer thing, I think they should just work with Intamin again, because if Intamin can come back in here, make that ride reliable now, and also potentially add like a Pantheon type ride layout to it, maybe add something, you know, a spike or something to get the LSMs to actually launch full speed, that would be amazing. It would change the ride experience, like Cedar Point said in their press release, and I know it's kind of infamous at this point now, and a lot of people had a lot of opinions on it. But I definitely think they should go with Intamin. I don't know if that's my 100% prediction or anything. It could go a lot of different ways. A lot of people could provide those LSMs. I would really love it if they mended the relationship with Intamin and they could move forward and potentially add more Intamins to this park in the future, because Intamin is always pushing the boundaries and doing things, and it would be great. Or, I mean, if RMC could figure out a way to do it, go for it. Personally, I think that's fantasy talk. I don't think that's feasible. I don't think that's something that could happen. It would cost a lot of money for them to re-engineer a steel track that they're only going to use one time and apply it to the Dragster. I mean, if they were going to use tubular track in the future and get away from that iBox tracking, and this is something they wanted to do, it could make sense. But again, pricey, and if they're only doing it for the Dragster, that's a very big price for something you're going to engineer and use once. It seems like a big waste of time of a lot of brain power. So I think it's more or less going to be Intamin redoing this, maybe somebody else providing the launches, and Intamin providing some new track if they change the layout. I also think that queue is going to go by, I believe it was the old Blood on the Bayou entrance. I'm not 100% sure, because it's been about 10 years since that was the entrance anyways, but it was in the beginning of the film here. I think the queue over there could be used, and you could really, you know, that could be the fast lane up into the Dragster, and then you could really use that other area where the Dragster pit stop was and the Dragster winter circle was for the regular queues and stuff, and running along the station. I'm not sure how they're going to do this. They could change it, but those are my predictions. She's giving her predictions. Do you have anything else to wrap that up on? I know I kind of rambled a bit there.
No, not really. I mean, you've pretty much hit every other aspect of it. Just, you know, it's a wait and see game now. Like, we just got to sit back and watch the clues that get dropped throughout the next couple of months, you know.
2023 or 2024? When is this going to be done?
Oh, either the end of 2023 or 2024. I don't think it's going to happen by next summer. But then again, Tony Clark did make that statement about how many coasters was it?
18 coasters when he said it
Yep.
with the Boardwalk edition of Wild Mouse. So that makes me believe at some point Dragster will be ready next year. I am of the belief that it's going to be ready opening day here
I
because
don't think so.
look how quick they've moved. They boarded it off and it's covered up and they've already cut everything off the track. I mean, they've had this plan in motion for months now. They just didn't tell us, and that's my thing is like people don't think it can get done this quickly, but they've had the plan done, so the plan can be executed this quickly, and I think it will be because they've sat there and let it sit for so long. The bad press release, the bad PR from the press release about it and being all cryptic, they've dropped all the carrots they can dangle in front of our faces. So at this point, I think they have to knock it out of the park, and they have to do it opening day. It's not going to really matter if they don't do it opening day either way. I know I said they have to, but at this point, there's a lot of people that are mad. I've seen some very immature pages, the boycott Cedar Point pages, harassing Tony Clark. And if you're one of those people, just go ahead and click off our profile now. That's one of those things. Don't go harassing these people. Tony Clark didn't make this decision.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things, like, that's why I think they have to have it for opening day, just because of some of those, really annoying coaster enthusiasts out there harassing people. You kind of got to knock it out of the park right now, but I believe they're gonna. They have had this plan in motion for months now. They've had to have had it in motion for months now. They just didn't tell us.
And I believe the only reason why they told us and dropped it when they did was because they knew that they needed to get in there and start working, and they had already planned for it to be boarded up and everything else. And the only way that they could do that without everybody speculating with nothing is they just basically let us know, hey, this is what's going on.
And I mean, hey, you guys are saying
everything went up.
You're saying they can't refurbish one ride in an off season, but they can build a whole boardwalk, a brand new Wild Mouse, move all those rides over there. I mean, come on, that's a lot of work too. So in and of itself, if you believe the boardwalk can be done by next year, then you can also believe that Dragster can be done by next year too.
I do believe Dragster could be done next year.
Maybe not opening day.
I just think they've got a lot going on all at the same time, and I think
spreading themselves thin a little bit.
Yeah, the only way that they're going to get one or the other opened on opening day is making sure that they get and follow through on one project, and then the other one may open opening day, but it may not open until later in the season.
And I'm honestly okay with that too.
Yeah.
Either way, because I mean, if we get two new things, the Wild Mouse and the Boardwalk wasn't that great of an expansion thing to me. It was cool for families. It was cool for, whatever, but it's kind of Disney-ish. They're trying to be Disney, the dollar store edition, basically. Come stay at our resorts that we're just building and taking coasters out for, but, everybody comes here for the coasters in the first place, so it's one of those things. I know people like good food at the parks. I've never been big on that myself. Again, I'm more wondering what's going to happen with Dragster. I think they should prioritize that over the boardwalk and stuff, but everything I think will be done at some point next year, and those are pretty much my predictions. That's going to wrap up what I think for Top Thrill Dragster. That's all we know for now. I will film as much as I can through Halloween weekends about it, because we're going to visit probably more than once while, we're pretty close to driving distance, so we'll keep you guys updated on all the Dragster stuff. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because that helps us with the algorithm on YouTube, and we would love to talk to you, and we love all of you guys commenting on our videos. It's been a fun first two videos for us, and we can't wait for more. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.